Okay, so you clicked on this video. I am not going to be explaining what a My Little Pony creepypasta is at all. That topic has already been discussed over and over and over again. In this video, I am solely going over the new TikTok trend that's been going around of My Little Pony horror comics. I want to say it started between late November and throughout the entirety of December and this month, obviously. But a creepypasta went around called the Smile Virus. I'm not sure if the Smile Virus came first. I mixed between that or this series called Pestrophobia, but from what I've gathered, the first ever infection series is a Smile Virus made by user Bunny is Cute. The way the series is formatted is that every episode has a tiny bit of lore, and then pony profiles that will show which ponies have been infected and which haven't, and also their current stats. There's not really much to say about story. I mean, really all that happened was that Mod Pie, Sakura, and Apple Bloom went into the Equestria Girls dimension and eventually got that dimension infected as well. Only a few girls in the Equestria Girls dimension survived, and it is assumed they just kind of left the school just to live somewhere else, I guess. And not much there in story. And plus, it's probably already been covered before. If you want to check it out for yourself, go on the person's page. Point is, the series went viral and it started a whole new trend of people on TikTok making apocalyptic My Little Pony creepypastas just like this one. And in this video, I'm going to be going over some of my favorites. I have to point out, most of these stories are not completely finished, meaning I can only give you a brief summary of what I've already seen. If you want to get the full finished story, if there is one, then please go to those people's TikTok pages. I do not own any of these stories, nor do I own My Little Pony as a franchise either. If I'm being honest, besides the fact that I just want to, capture everything that's going on right now, I also want to, make this video because I don't know how many of these stories are actually going to be finished, and I really do want to put an archive, I guess. This video is kind of like an archive, so if anyone sees this in the future, you think any of these concepts are cool, and perhaps the original creator never finished their story, maybe you can use this as your own. I don't know, that might be cool, I don't know. But anyways, with that, please enjoy the video. I'm starting with Celestias Parasite by Haneko. Before I explain the story, I want to point out something that I noticed that I thought that was pretty cool. It has a really different format than any of the other stories. This story is formatted in a first person, your own character perspective, so you can insert yourself into the story. So it's very immersive. It begins with you arriving to Ponyville and you're able to pick out who you want to stay with. However, some of the options are better than others. I went with Applejack because personally she is best girl and nobody can tell me otherwise. When you're done, you're able to talk to the ponies by going on to whichever slide you want to go on to. Pinkie Pie slide gives a note saying you can't trust everyone, and after this, Twilight invites you and all the others to go into her house. You go into her house with everyone else and you find a composition notebook, and read it as it looks out of place. In the book, you find out that Twilight's been making a new potion for Celestia that she wasn't giving any further information on besides that she really needs it. Her and Spike test out the potion after going to sleep. She finds Spike and the potion are gone, so Spike has already been succumbed by the virus. The only person who ends up drinking a lemonade that Twilight hands to you and the others is Fluttershy, and she is also infected. Rarity is missing, however, I'm assuming she was killed by Twilight. The way the virus in this series works is that it slowly replaces a pony's genetics and pre-existing cells with flesh-eating parasites. Currently, there is no cure and is 100% fatal. The infection allows ponies to be completely self-aware while it overtakes their body. They eat away at the frontal lobe, so they start losing motor skills and act a bit uncanny. The only reason why the virus was ever started was because Celestia wanted to make a new Equestria. For what reason was never explained. I guess that's really my only con with this series. I don't get why Celestia would have to make a new Equestria. They don't say that there's anything wrong with Equestria and all the ponies are acting okay. It makes sense if there was something going wrong with Equestria, which made it so they would have to make something to stop whatever is going wrong, but they never do, and it just kind of seems like, I don't know, plot convenience, I guess? I don't know. It just seems a bit it doesn't really make any sense, and you're going to notice that with a lot of these series if you look for yourself. Most of these plots just don't have any rhyme or reason for why the ponies do it. One thing I've noticed a bunch is that for some reason Twilight always goes insane and starts the infection herself. But why would she do that? Why would she jeopardize everyone like that? She's literally the princess of friendship. That It's just really out of character. Most of these stories are really mischaracterizing a bunch of the characters, and an avid My Little Pony fan, I just don't like it. Call me a brony all you want, I don't care, I just don't like it. Luxury Tonic by Bye Bye Bunny. The luxury tonic begins by giving us some pony profiles and an overview on how the tonic works. The tonic causes users to be hyperactive, violent, hysteric, and makes it so you can't feel pain anymore. The tonic also causes mental problems as low as just minor depression to full hallucinations and dissociation. The tonic is first brought into Ponyville by Trixie, with her claiming that it can heal any ailment. Pinkie Pie takes a sip of it and quickly gets hooked, making all the other ponies around her take drink from it too. Sometime after this, Pinkie Pie goes to Rarity's boutique and looks pretty beat up and needs some bits for more tonic. Rainbow Dash is also seen with her and pretty much just supporting each other's unhealthy tonic addiction. Rarity confides in Twilight that she's worried about the new drug Pinkie Pie has found and wants to discuss it with her, but then she gets another knock on her door with a gift from Pinkie Pie that is the tonic. Obviously not giving two shits about what Rarity just told her, she drinks it anyways? What? Applejack only starts drinking the tonic because she broke her legs while trying to kick more for some apples. Pinkie Pie uses it to get really bad and she starts hallucinating, and Fluttershy's usage made Angel leave and she starts blaming everything on Rainbow Dash because she asked her for more bits for tonic, and she plans on killing Rainbow Dash the next time she comes to see her. Though this story still follows the same format as most, I added it into this video because I like that instead of an infection, they went for an addiction, which can be just as bad as an infection if nothing is done about it. It is also easier to stop than an infection because, truthfully, you're not going to get hurt if you just don't drink the tonic. So all you have to do is just ban the usage of the tonic and everyone would be fine, hypothetically. But of course, I guess it'd be easier said than done because just like in real life, people would still find ways to use it anyways. I forgot about this, but I've written this one down called The Crystal Curse by Ploya? Dre. But in my notes, I literally didn't write anything about it. So I'm gonna just summarize it from memory and also go to the TikTok page to like look it up because I low-key forgot. There's not much on this story yet. It's only 3 parts and there's not much lore going on. So Cadence dies in this story and both her body and the crystal pony seem to vanish. The virus starts by leaving crystallization on the ponies, which can seem harmless at first, so nobody really picks up on it. Next, the crystallization just starts getting worse and just progressively worse, causing ponies to have like these blisters on their bodies that's made from the crystals and just looking overall very like creepy. It seems like something had happened with the sisters and Cadence, making them not want to go see Cadence themselves, so they just kind of like make Twilight go do it. The other ponies notice that Twilight hasn't been seen for over a week, so they decided to go investigate the Crystal Kingdom for themselves and find that, you know, a lot has gone wrong. Rarity discovers that Shining Armor has been killed, like in a very brutal manner, and she has also been infected. They head back to Ponyville, but Rarity is still obviously infected. The crystallization is not going away and she's very traumatized. No matter what Celestia does, the crystallization won't leave. And other ponies are also noticing that it's really unnormal for the crystallization to last for this long. And that's the story so far. I don't really remember why I wanted to add it into this video. I want to say it was because this was one of the first Canterlot infections that I've noticed, but there's already a more popular series that's based on Canterlot, and I don't know, I could have added that one instead. Speaking of that one, I want to talk about it. Even though I didn't plan to talk about it in this video, I still want to because it's really cool. It's really cool. I like this one because a meme has actually gone around about it. There's a video with an infected Shining Armor and people have made a meme out of it saying that he's about to go see his baby girl, and I just think that's it's so unserious, but yeah, in like the first video of this series, the creator put happy to see his baby girl in the last slide and people just made a meme out of it. And also, I'm pretty sure this one is one of the more popular ones. The infection spread in this series through spores produced by the Tree of Harmony. In the first stage, besides the bite, really the most noticeable thing is that they're really thirsty. Second stage, brain fog worsens, they start feeling trapped in their own mind and unable to understand the world around them. Third stage, they experience extreme discomfort but not pain. brain fog worsens even more, and they simply live in their heads with repeated memories while their body reacts on instincts. Sometimes outside stimuli will align with a memory that may draw a stronger reaction. In Brave 4, the body is hollow with nothing but bile and bone inside. The bile begins to clot into soft root-like strands that harden a bit once exposed to the air. The body swells and the skin is very fragile, and soft fuzzy tendrils start poking out from ponies' mouths or any exposed wound. And after that, it pretty much just keeps going until the ponies are just made into these kind of like tree-like things. The virus is called Divine Swamp Fever. By the way, the creator of this series animates their photos, and it is the most terrifying thing ever. Like, just look at this. And this, because I want to scare you more. Anyways, another thing I like about this series is that this creator also adds like what the other ponies are doing instead of just showing the infection. I really like that it shows that, you know, like the main cast and just ponies in general are not letting this consume them, and they're actively trying to make it stop. Most just show you like, oh no, Blank is dead and Udder is infected, and just don't really explain like what's being done to stop it. So I just think that's pretty neat. And also they added Sunburst into the series, which I wasn't expecting. Most people don't even remember Sunburst as a character. So like it's good to see some Sunburst representation up in here. But yeah, I suggest you all look at that series for yourself. It's not so much lore wise right now, really just a bunch of scary videos. So if you want to go see those videos, please go to the person's page. Their page is etc, etc. Okay, this one is a long one, so it's probably going to take up the majority of this video. So brace yourselves, or more like I have to brace myself because I have to talk through all of this. Let's go. This one is extremely underrated. I wish more people knew about this one because it's the only series that includes Discord and the characters are written properly. I'm pretty sure the creator of this series is a writer themselves, so it makes sense that the writing is honestly very decent. The series is called Radiation Syndrome. It's by Wow. I don't know what to name this. Hi everyone, Editor Jam here. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Radiation Syndrome was canceled. I checked the creator's account today and I wasn't wrong. They restarted the series and started a new one with Daring Do, which is the first Daring Do series I found, but I'm really upset they canceled Radiation Syndrome. It was a very good series. I don't know why they just up and left. I feel like they got mad because they really wanted Fluttershy to live, so they were like, okay, well, if I can't have Fluttershy, none of you guys can. Oh my god, I don't know. But for this part, you can only like listen to my commentary while I play a video game because I don't have anything else about Radiation Syndrome because it's gone. So sorry about that, and sorry to any Radiation Syndrome fans watching this video if you know what it is. Starlight and Trixie were trying to perform a spell. Trixie, obviously being extremely full of herself, tried to perform the spell without hearing Starlight out and accidentally hit a nuclear power plant that Rarity and Spike were at. Just seemingly. I don't know why they were around that area. I don't know. Obviously, it caused the radiation to spread, making Rarity the first victim, and Spike is immune. Meanwhile, at Sweet Apple Acres, Applejack is allowing refugees to stay there while they work out a cure for the virus. Starlight and Trixie, still not really taking the situation seriously, are about to head back to Ponyville but run into Pinkie Pie, who I have to mention is extremely well written in this story. She does that super fast explaining thing that she does, which caught me off guard but honestly helped out a lot with my confusion. Starlight and Trixie are afraid of what they've done and running away in fear, knowing that if anyone knew what they had done, they'd be killed. On the spot, no questions asked. Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash go to Twilight's library. Also forgot to mention, this is pre-Alicorn Twilight. However, Rainbow Dash is infected and Twilight immediately takes action by killing her. It startles Pinkie Pie, but she understands why Twilight had to do it in the first place. However, both of them were sprayed with blood from Rainbow Dash after she imploded. And if the blood were to get in your eye, bloodstream, or mouth, you can die. Twilight, with obvious plot armor, had contacts on for some reason, so she was immune to the blood spray. However, Pinkie Pie was not. A very affected Cheerilee, however, came to the library, demanding to be cured. In fear, Twilight ran away, leaving both Spike and Pinkie Pie in the library by themselves. Back in Sweet Apple Acres, Fluttershy notices that the barn is all closed off and hearing noises coming from it, so she decides to go investigate, finding an extremely mutated Scootaloo. Applejack, who was also there, knocks out Fluttershy and leaves her to die seemingly, but Fluttershy was found by Discord, who takes care of her for the remainder of the series. Well, almost for the remainder of the series. Discord is a very prominent part of the series, which I like because he's the only, this is the only series I found where Discord actually has an important part and isn't just either there for no reason or just gone, you know? He finds the virus laughable as it could have been avoided easily if it wasn't for Trixie's mess up. However, he still has feelings of resentment for himself because he knows that he cannot stop it even if he wanted to. So all he can do is laugh while everyone else suffers, even Fluttershy, which is so it's so sad. Anyways, you might be wondering where the princesses are, and I was just about to get into that. Common with most series, Celestia ran away. No joke, she legit made a whole letter stating that she ran away, most likely was dead, don't come looking for her, and gave up her title to Luna, who is now the sole ruler of Equestria. This happens a lot in series I've noticed. Is either Celestia is nowhere to be found and Luna takes over, runs away, or just she dies and Luna has to take over her abilities, which is I don't know. She is found later in the series by Twilight and admits to everything she's done. Truthfully, she said that she's a coward, but it doesn't make it any better. She left everyone to die. I don't think she's going to get redemption in this series anytime soon, but I really hope she does because it doesn't make any sense for the most powerful pony in Ponyville just to run away like that, like a coward, the minute danger strikes, especially since we've seen her taking danger out herself, or at least trying prior to this event. Back in the forest with Starlight and Trixie, Starlight notices something is very off with Trixie and calls her out for it. Trixie then transforms back into Queen. Let me do this right. Queen Chrysalis. And Chrysalis is basically telling Starlight that she's grateful for her and Trixie causing the radiation mess up, as it is allowing her to finally get a hold of Ponyville. Her plan is to allow her minions to get radiation poisoning so they can become extra strong and kill off the rest of the citizens in Ponyville. Starlight tells her that pretty much, well, the plan is stupid. It doesn't have any good outcome, and even if she does get Ponyville, what's the point when nobody's going to see her rule it? At all. Everyone will be dead. And it makes Chrysalis think for a moment, but just for a moment. And she brushes it off and goes through with it. Starlight hears the real Trixie yelling for help and goes to save her, but it's already too late and Trixie has been bitten by a mutated changeling. Starlight already really lost it by now and decides the best thing to do is just forcibly amputate Trixie. Yeah, that's the best course of action. And Trixie wakes up with no Starlight and an amputated leg. Oh lord. Remember the Applejack and the Sweet Apple Acres? Yeah, well that's not Applejack, that's a changeling. The real Applejack is being held somewhere in the Chrysalis Horde. The changeling Applejack reveals their plan to everyone and lets free the mutated Scootaloo who kills Sweetie Belle. Prior to this event, people were already feeling skeptical about Applejack, specifically Lyra and Bonbon, and they had left Sweet Apple Acres before getting hurt, meeting up with Fluttershy in Discord. They argue with Discord about how they want him to help everyone, but Discord tells them that he couldn't even if he wanted to. But he makes a deal with them. The deal is that he would help them. He is able to sacrifice 2 ponies to bring 1 pony back. This was actually a decision made by the fans of this series. We were able to choose if we wanted Lyra and Bonbon to go with this deal or to not. Sadly, they did, and the person, well, one of the people who dies after bringing a mutated Rainbow Dash back is Fluttershy, which is why I said she wasn't going to make it out alive, which sucks because the creator of the series actually said they wanted Fluttershy to live, but Fluttershy ended up dying anyways because of the insolence of the audience. After Twilight finds out that Celestia is a fraud, she becomes really depressed and closes herself off from everyone else while she works for a cure. Trixie finds her and together they try finding Starlight. Trixie asks Twilight what's the thing above her head, and Twilight tells her that it's a sort of curse of shame. Realizing this, she now knows that Trixie started a virus. So far, that's where the story ends. I'm really hopeful the story will be finished. Yes, there's still a few plot holes, but it has a ton of potential unlike the other ones. The story is very close to canon with how they write the characters, which is honestly the best thing about this story. I will admit though, the only characters I'd say that were pretty mischaracterized, kinda. I'm just saying kinda because we don't really have that much info on them to be completely mischaracterized, is Lyra and Bonbon. I don't really like how we just allowed them to just sacrifice everyone like that. It just doesn't make any sense. And the person they ended up bringing back anyways was a mutated Rainbow Dash, so it didn't matter anyways. You just fought fire with fire and lost. So congrats. It reminds me of that one meme. Give it up for fuckface, everybody. That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. Well, that was the last story I'm going over. I would go over more, but I'm seriously telling you, you should probably just go check for yourself down the hashtag of like My Little Pony AU, My Little Pony Horror, My Little Pony Infection AU. Please go check for yourself. There's so many. Honestly, I feel like you'd probably find one that you like yourself if you didn't like any of the ones that I went over in this video. Some of the more popular ones I've seen is My Little Worms, the Color Virus, the Smile Virus, etc. If you really want to get into all of this, please download TikTok if you don't have it already and start looking up these creators. Anyways, before I end the video, I just want to go over some pet peeves I have with a few of these series, besides the ones I've already gone over, like the mischaracterization and all that type of stuff. When it comes to who's infected first in these AUs, it's usually Pinkie Pie? Like, why Pinkie Pie? In Pinkie Pie's defense, she is one of the most OP characters in My Little Pony, and she's just an Earth Pony, which is shocking, honestly. Like, she's very intelligent, which I feel like a lot of people are not understanding, which is why they make her one of the first few infected. But Pinkie Pie's really smart. I feel like she wouldn't let a virus just overtake her that easily. More than likely, she'd probably be one of the first few to know that a virus has started and to do something about it. With Pinkie Pie, people just want to write her like she is just happy and bubbly all the time, so that's the reason why she gets infected first, or just for literally no reason at all, she's just sad and depressed. No, I don't think she'd get sad and depressed over a virus. I mean, unless one of her friends died, yeah, then she'd probably get sad and depressed, but if that doesn't happen, then more than likely Pinkie Pie would be able to like be one of the few that would actually be able to stop it. I really don't want this trend to end, if I'm being honest. I know at best we probably have maybe, I'd give it until probably mid-February and we might just be done with this. I really hope that's not the case, because if you're on TikTok, you know how fast trends and just like anything that goes viral, it lasts tops a week, you're done. And that's how the algorithm of TikTok works, and I really don't like it because some trends are really cool and they only last literally a week. The My Little Pony horror stuff that's going on right now, it's lasted over 2 months, which is honestly the longest trends I've seen on TikTok so far. So I just really hope that this trend lasts longer than the usual. But also, even if it lasts longer, I don't want it to become oversaturated. I'm already noticing some of it starting to become oversaturated. I'm just like, ew. You know when something becomes over-exaggerated? When like famous accounts start talking about it. I'm afraid for what will happen when bigger accounts on TikTok find out about this trend. Like, especially those art accounts. Oh my god, TikTok art accounts are so annoying. But that's for a whole nother video. That is for a whole nother video. I mean, it's bound to happen. I can't really say that and be like, oh, I wish it won't become oversaturated, but it will happen eventually. If we do pass the 3-month mark, it will happen. So I don't really know what I'm complaining about here. We can't stop it. The famous people are coming. Another species that I think would also be a contender for like starting a virus is those goddamn bugs in that one episode where they were eating everything the fuck up. Swarm of the Century. Swarm of the Century. They were swarmed with these cute but fugly ass insects that ate everything. I'm surprised I haven't really seen one that's based off of those creatures. Those things scared the crap out of me when I was a child. So I'm surprised that like we haven't seen anything about them or the breezies. Like I feel like an infection can start from the breezies too. I feel like we're not going into more of the like non-pony species that can also be a contender for like a pony virus. Like I think it'd just be cool if we were to explore more of those other species that live in the land of Equestria. Like the griffins, the breezies, those stupid ass bugs, the changelings. Like come on now people, we have so much to work with. And I feel like we're only working with the bare minimum because, and this is gonna be really petty, but truthfully, half of these people who are creating AUs don't know jack about My Little Pony. I have to be honest, which is why, like, I have to be honest. It's why I'm scared for this trend to become oversaturated, because once it becomes oversaturated, everyone who, like, barely knows about My Little Pony might just come along and be like, ha, this is funny, what if I do something too? And just ruin everything. Of course, I can't stop people from doing what they want to do. It's just a really big pet peeve of mine when like you're in a fandom and fandom gets popular and a bunch of new people join the fandom that have literally no respect for whatever was going on before and take fandom to a whole nother level, which I'm scared might happen again with this trend, but hopefully it won't. Anyways, I guess is really all I have to say. I could ramble on forever about this, but I mean, I really just want to get this video out there. If this does well, I might do a part 2, but I don't know yet. If you watched it all the way to the end, thank you so much. If you don't mind, could you please try subscribing? It would help my channel out a lot, and I really want to reach maybe 3K by hopefully April, because I plan on making a whole bunch of YouTube videos, like seriously, this year. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye!